Julie has a controversial history with many of us.
I'm not trying to mess with that lady.
We were really, really good friends, and then you did a really bad thing to me.
Someone I thought was my friend just stabbed me in the back.
What was it like for the two of you to reunite with Julie, given your history, which you guys unpack in the first 2 episodes?
I like to speak about this subject and focus less on Julie per se. I think this is an illustration of a story that you can look at from a broader perspective too, through social media and technology today. But I think a lot of people lose touch with reality in many ways, and the lines between their real lived life and the persona they're living gets overly blurred. And a lot of people forget that some of the things that you do and what you see as a persona actually is damaging to real life. I think this is very much an example of that, to an extreme.
It was interesting to see when you guys both aired your grievances with her about what happened in the past and her writing those letters. She immediately accused you of accusing her of being homophobic and racist. What was your reaction to her reaction? Like, how do you reflect on that?
That's called deflection.
In some psychological circles, that's called projection. Look at I feel very guarded in this particular conversation, only because I feel like I addressed it fully the last time I saw her when I was in Jamaica.
I don't like you. We're not friends because I find you to be very dishonest.
Did I do anything yet to offend you? Did I do anything?
Yet! The past 2 years of my life.
Basically, Julie and I were friends. She did some shady business stuff to me. I didn't appreciate it. Once you go messing with my money, you go messing with my emotions.
I don't want anything to do with you. I want you to keep my name out of your mouth, and I want you to stay away from me.
There was only about 2 years between the ending of the show to when I then went on a challenge with her. So the discovery of these things that we ended up having to talk about on Homecoming happened in those little 2 years, in that very small window. So the viewing audience only saw we were friends and then we were not friends. So, and the story of why that was never really fully expressed. So I addressed it in Jamaica. I then addressed it again online. She too had her say online about what really happened. And then I never spoke her name again. So Will Smith levels, when I was like, keep my name out, Joe, that applied to me too. So I went on in the past 20 years and we've never spoken again. I've never spoken her name again. If there was ever an interview or podcast or whatever, I just really was very careful about not dredging that up, because I felt like I already closed that door. I already, I said what I had to say. She said what she had to say, and then we went on about our business. Cut to now we have Homecoming and it's a thing again.
I think a lot of people today are caught in a state of pathological narcissism, where they actually don't have the capacity to truly see their actions internally.
What she did to both of you was not cool, but for you, Danny, in particular, the contents of her letter just seemed, so hurtful, to paint you as this dangerous gay man right after you had done so much work on the show, had this groundbreaking run, shedding a light on don't ask, don't tell. When you were so young and coming off of that experience, how did it feel to know that this girl who you had become friends with sort of stabbed you in the back and attacked your sexual orientation?
It was damaging. It really, it undermined my trust in just people in general. This is one of the last people I would have expected one of my cast members to undermine me that way, especially someone who I had full trust in. There was no reason not to trust her at that point. So to find, that letter was forwarded to me from executives at the organization that we were representing and actually representing as mentors and role models for young people, to be chosen to do that by an international organization back then as a gay man was a big deal, and was super hurtful then to find out somebody that I trusted was absolutely undermining me, especially in that time. And I just chose right then to let her know how I felt. I let her know that our relationship was over, and we never spoke again until the day she walked into that house in New Orleans.
So were you guys each hopeful for some sort of reconciliation, resolution? Did you think that you would leave New Orleans this time around with Julie as the bestie again?
I don't think I had any expectations. I think if after 20 years have passed, that person has had plenty of time to make amends, and that was never done. So I had no expectations. I just walked away from that realizing that this person maybe doesn't have the capacity for that understanding.
I didn't spend any time talking to other cast members to see like what their experience was. It was just, this is what I have with her. This was my resolution with her, and I got to move on with my life. So I just really hope that it's understood that once I heard Danny's full story, I was like, well, dang, that's wild.
And this has happened to many other people too. So this is pathological behavior. This is repetitive pathological behavior. It's not like an accidental one-off.